Okay, in what feels like forever, we have finally got the first episode of Game of Thrones Season 7. Now, admittedly, I got into this after a lot of people. Like, I only really got into it, I think, last year, but then I really liked the show a lot. So I was anticipating Season 7, and I got to see it last night at a screening. It was pretty awesome. I saw it, like, on a projector. And yeah, the episode didn't disappoint. It was a very slow episode, but it was good because it was build up for what is to come, and I appreciated it because it slowly gets you back into the world of Game of Thrones and introduces you back to these characters you haven't seen for a while. And it was great. I really liked this episode a lot. Now it starts off with already a really, really great scene. It started off with Walder Frey, who of course, oh yeah, by the way, this review will contain spoilers for this episode, so if you haven't seen it, don't watch this video. But it starts off with Walder Frey, and of course he is killed by Arya Stark in the last episode of season 6. So I thought it was like a little callback to that scene because I can't really remember the exact way that scene goes down. I mean, it was a while ago when I watched it, but I thought it was a callback to that or maybe a flashback. But it turns out no, it's Arya Stark wearing like the mask. She takes it off, and she's poisoned the last of the Freys. They all just drop dead, and it's like, yeah, we're back in Game of Thrones. Everyone's died. Opening titles, and it was just great to see those opening titles back after such a great opening scene, because it's like, yeah, that's what we know Game of Thrones for. Now we're hearing this, we got a bit of a new style intro, and already we're like, yeah, I am 100% prepared for this. And then, yeah, it slows down. We see what Jon's been up to, you know, King of the North now. We get to see what Cersei's been up to, and we're introduced back to Euron Greyjoy. She invites him to come and talk to her. So we see him back on the screen, and his fantastic new makeover, as Twitter puts it, is just the worst. He looks like Captain Boomerang from Suicide Squad. My friend who I saw it with looked at me and whispered in my ear, Suicide Squad, and I looked at it and I was like, I will not unsee that ever. So that was a bit silly, but I heard that he's going to be making Ramsay Bolton look like a little kid, and if that's true, then, well, I would love to see it, because so far I'm not very convinced. But yeah, and then we find out what Sam Tarly's been up to. He's cleaning up turds out of bedpans, which of course he's loving. But of course he found the weapons at the end of the last season, the Dragonglass weapons. So he's trying to find more. He's trying to contact Jon. And of course the armies are coming in. One of the very first shots we see is this beautiful shot of these White Walkers coming in. There's like an army of them, and it turns out it's like a Brand's vision. There's like a giant White Walker. It was really cool to see. As we get further into this episode, there is this really dumb scene that really didn't serve a purpose, and it included Ed Sheeran, which I know a lot of people have already spoken about this, that already know about Ed Sheeran's involvement in this show, but it was just so bizarre, because Arya's just going through the woods, and all of a sudden she gets stopped by Ed Sheeran. He's singing, of course, and she just stops to have a chat with him, and you've got Thomas Turgoose there from This Is England, and they're just sitting there having a chat, and it's like, this is purely here because they wanted to surprise Maisie Williams on set, am I right? That's pretty much it. But we see that Sansa's got a bit of a dark side now. You know, she does the old Ramsay Bolton smirk when she's talking to Littlefinger, so I have a feeling he's probably going to be next to go. I mean, I don't know, but I feel like this season, if anyone dies, it will be Littlefinger and Cersei, because, well, Cersei for obvious reasons, but I feel like Littlefinger's definitely going to go. But this one really doesn't give you much sort of idea of who's going to be on that throne by the end of it. You know, we don't get to spend much time with all of the characters. You know, we even get a scene with the Hound, and he's seeing like visions in the fire. He's like the new gravedigger. So there's a lot that does go on with certain characters, but we don't really get any indication of who's going to be fighting for the throne. I mean, we know who's going to be fighting for the throne, but we don't have any indication of who's going to be getting the throne. And I like that, because it leaves us with a lot of speculation to go forward, and the setup really does pay off, you know, at the end. Daenerys sails to Dragonstone, which is why that is the name of this episode. They travel back there with, of course, Tyrion, who is now her hand, and the rest of her army. You know, Grey Worm's there. And the very ending of the episode, she's like, yeah, so let's do this shit. And it just ends like that, and you're like, yeah, I'm very much looking forward to episode 2. They showed a little promo for it. Not much happened in the promo, but what did happen got me really hyped up for it. So this episode was really great. Bit of a short video because there's not that much to talk about going in, but I've spoken about what I need to speak about, and I feel like it was a strong opener for season 7, and I am very much looking forward to seeing what goes down. So, are you a Game of Thrones fan? Let me know what you thought of this episode, and are you excited for the rest of the season going ahead? Comment below and let me know. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you very soon.